Um,
The Aries, yeah, because I
the
have fire
fire.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't actually fully understand it. And I have some friends that are like very fire, like they're like living on the fire side, fire
Hmm.
air side. And I don't always get what they're going through. I can't really comprehend it. So
Well, Carly has fire, Leo. So,
Carly has fire. Where's my
yeah.
mouse? What's
Okay.
Carly's fire? Sorry.
Venus and Mars conjunct Leo.
And Leo. Oh yeah, yeah, Leo and Jupiter.
Yeah.
Her
That's
and
a
I have Jupiter
very
and Leo.
big fire. That's a huge fire. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go
Okay.
back to
Back to
beyond the
Osho.
mind to the source.
Okay.
Hmm. So, you want to kick off? How did you feel? Because you probably read it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I did read this one pretty quick. Partly because there wasn't a lot here, but I was finding it very familiar. I said to you before that I had listened to a number of Osho's talks, and this one felt like I had remembered it. But some key takeaways that I can present, and then you can decide if we want to dive into any one of them. Um, the center not being significant, but just the act of centering itself being the more important piece. And then the other was the delicateness of being in the middle, which I found to be a resonant approach to the feeling that comes up with like finding the middle of everything. Yeah. How about for you?
What about being headless?
Headless. Yeah. I was just like, okay, headless. Went with it. It didn't like it wasn't like epiphanies coming out of it or anything. What about for you?
Mhm. I loved no head.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had the sensation in the body, and yeah, it kind of opened up, poop, right away. The imagination of not having head, not having the mind, just not. I didn't look in the mirror to look into my eyes to feel the body and the heart, rather than I was like, okay, well, how will it be if I imagine I just don't have head? Where does it go? It immediately drops on my shoulders, immediately. And I love that. That is such a quick and easy. I also loved that he touched the base on lovers and poets and
Yeah.
hearts and music and in the
Mm-hmm.
work that helps enhance inner love towards all in stages, right? So in bits and pieces and in parts. I love that because I totally understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Totally understand. And when you go to bed, for example, and you are in love from the mind, which is total love and hate. I love that story as well. We can maybe expand on that. When you are feverish, how he
Mm-hmm.
says it. And I have been
Yeah.
experiencing that as well. And I have tapped into a different sense of love, which is almost so subtle that you can't even tell that I feel
Mm-hmm.
anything. And I
Yeah.
love that.
That must be maybe pointing to what you shared with me
Mhm.
off recording, how you say your love
Mhm.
is growing for people and people are kind of like falling out of it because it's too encompassing and it's too uncomfortable because it's revealing the depths. Like I mean that's what it would be if you had like a loving awareness that accepted all that you are. Then it's like, well, not those parts. Like just look over here at these parts. And
Mhm.
if you do look at all of what I am and what I have, then I might have to separate because it's too much for me to handle right now.
Mhm. Yeah,
Did that feel relevant here?
totally. And I was actually in shock yesterday, entire day. Was it yesterday? think it was yesterday. No, the day before. Because I couldn't understand it. I couldn't believe in it.
Hmm.
And I find mind baffled, like almost like I'm so confused in the mind that I no longer can understand what is happening in the body. So it's invalidating everything that I'm thinking of. It's like, wait, but it doesn't make sense. And of course it doesn't make sense. And when he how he explains the lovers, when you're in love, you lose your mind because it opens up a different center of your experience. And this center of your experience does not make at all logical sense. And it will never be proven scientifically, right? So, yes, you feel the physiological chemistry in the body, but you're also opening up yourself to something so unknown to the mind. So, this practice of coming back and forth to me grew to become nonsensical, doesn't make sense at all anymore, that I still can offer so much love that it's not logical. It doesn't make sense to you. It doesn't make sense to me. But the fact of the matter is that I still feel I can't get mad at you. I
Hmm.
cannot hate you. I cannot love. I don't, I can tell I love something, but I know that you are a limited form in a human body. And I think this is actually what helped me a lot to differentiate is that the limitations that the mind is doing to us to minimize our potential, minimize our vastness, right? So when I love you, but I am aware that I only love a partial part of you
Yeah.
because you're in a limited body. And by default, I am tasked to almost by default automatically give conditions to you limited, to you being limited, give myself to you by conditioning limited. And now when I'm aware that I'm limiting you and me and love so vast into this format, I have a choice to choose to go through it and expand from it or through you to more. And this all makes more sense to me. And that's where I was like, wait, even this, with we're all aiming for this. We're all seeking this with voicing it, asking, you have it and you don't know that you have it. I'm giving it to you, not on the silver plate, but I am to the state where you get to, I guess I'm the only one actually feeling this, not the other person. So because it's so impossible for the mind, and comes back to if I don't understand it, I will devalue it and reject it because it doesn't make sense to the mind. And I'm afraid of it because I can't understand it. So I just reject it and I close it off and I said, no, thank you. And
Hmm.
to me, that's just like, wow. So everything that we were talking about from Gene Keys and all these astrological projections for 2027, how things would just fall off and they will be fair. They will feel okay, completed, final, and just there will be this like clear separation in the sense of okay, our roles are completed. We are now on a very different frequencies, very different fields, different planets, different X evolution, different path, different direction. So
Mm.
I'm just cannot comprehend it with the mind to this day. It's like it doesn't make sense that you would say no to vastness.
Yeah.
But okay, and okay, let me just limit myself again. Speaks the limited person too, limited
Hmm.
personality.
Hmm.
I don't know how far vastness goes. I really don't. I can put the edge to it. Yeah, that I can put. But I'm not putting it just in your body. I'm putting it outside your body, which means I'm adding you plus your potential that I see through you, which means it's mine
Yeah.
solely.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I know you follow because I know that you can expand and flex elastically this sense and space.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's a keen distinction that now you're making that it's your own awareness and your love is for the other, but it's actually, it's reflected back. It's your own experience of like, because when we open our hearts and we love another, what we feel inside is we feel love, like we feel. And in the beginning, when we think what love is this relate it's exchange, right? This exchange of energy. And so we're waiting for the reception. We're waiting for someone to give. But when you're truly open in this way, like what you're talking about, you instantly feel, you already feel loved in your loving awareness. Like it's an emanation that
Hmm.
comes out of you and you can't help but it's like, oh yeah, I have love for you. It's coming through my heart, but I would like to be loved too. It's like you can't do that because it's it's unstoppable and it expands through you and outward. Um, so that's
Yeah.
cool. And I was just thinking about, you said what are the parameters? Like what are the edges? What are the like how vast can it be? How vast can it be in you? What I think is outside of your like if you're speaking to someone else, right? And you're seeing them and then you're choosing to love them beyond where they see themselves in your perception. You're going outside and then it becomes uncomfortable for them. But
Hmm.
it's also like so for you in your South Node Scorpio, it's very normal to access a a depth, right? And go there and see. But also like there's and I think this is what Osho is touching on with the distinction between mathematics and music, philosophy and poetry is over here you have definition and over here you have openness and they're on the same polarity, two sides of the same coin really. But over here you have the expansion of your approach, and over here you have the defining aspect,
Mm.
the limiting, the edges of it. And by its nature, how far can it go? How vast is vastness? How deep is the darkness that the light emanates out of? It it's indescribable. Like we cannot, by its nature, define it or create boundaries around or say what it is. It's endless.
Yeah, I love that. And I know what you mean, but by the vastness being so ever expanding, so can the opposite be so ever nothing? So that
Mm-hmm.
everything becomes nothing because it's the polar opposite. So why put the boundaries to any? Why even trying to understand it is my point. It's like
Yeah.
you have the energy that is flowing. So I love how he really makes the distinction between consciousness humming, being here in the
Yeah.
head versus being here in the body versus having different centers and kind of almost being so sucked in, like almost there's like a dial up energy towards that part of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, it's like whatever that is coming and evolving and expanding you from or shrinking you down. I love that he challenged the one-sidedness of it.
Yeah.
And so I wondered, okay, well, if my tendencies or naturalness comes in into total expansion, or meaning like expansion, I don't have a tendency to shrink. I can deal with what comes in life and I can welcome it right from the South Node, the Scorpio. I can come deep down and I can process the deep feelings and the pains and the suffering and the hells. But I don't have the tendencies. This doesn't come natural to me. What comes natural is the absolute expansion, which we in the limited mind 3D call illusion, delusion, floating and I understand that part too. It's like there's an edge, and if you really start, if Neptune archetype is beautifully describing this, and I'll just give you the example. Imagine that we have discovered Neptune just recently, and
Yeah.
our literally what we know of comes up to the Neptune in our galaxy, and then the Pluto was discovered just after that, a little bit, maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe less than 100 years, and it's just behind it. But we cannot go beyond that. And it correlates directly with our rise in psychological traits and psychologists of Carl
Yeah.
Jung and Freud and everybody else that is coming in that age. So that's when we discovered it. So our mind expanded up to Neptune and a little bit beyond the Pluto. And just now we're creating the cluster around the Pluto. So our
Hmm.
space in psycho mind is
Hmm.
expanding itself.
Sure.
But there's so much more than we don't know, which is that subconscious or unknown. And there's no end to it.
Hmm.
So even that is like, okay, well, we are ready collectively to move as we're becoming more and more mind. We're opening our mind to the known and unknown, and science now cannot prove beyond that, right? So, but it's the fact of the matter is that it does exist, and we
Hmm.
cannot just reject it. So rejecting that much space is very extreme or one-sided, but accepting the space and accepting the depth, accepting the light and the dark, I think that's what he means by dealing with both, like being aware that you have both sides of it, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and to me, it really stood out to me. Like the one sentence in this whole section
Mm-hmm.
was the delicateness of the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most delicate thing that we could ever experience because in our seeking to understand, we go either over here or over here. We go up or we go down. We go in or we go out. And in the middle, it's like the only thing I can relate it to metaphorically is the Tao, and I brought this up before, the Tao description of the all rivers run to the ocean because it's beneath them. It's like in the middle. It's so delicate, meaning you're just you're centered, you're delicately holding where you are in this space, and everything can pour in like you're pulling a tarp down and there's water on it, right? It all seeks for that point. And the minute
Mm-hmm.
you draw yourself to one side or the other, the water spills, like you lose all of that potential. It's just potential because how
Yes.
vast is it? How can we know? Um, yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And to add to that, you're right. It's like a potential is a glimpse. And it's almost like how I experience it. It's temporary.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like as if it's just a light that exploded and retracted right away back, right? So it's a boom, it's a flash. But the tendency is to stay there.
Yes, or grab it.
Yes, though there is no more feeling or sense of being there, right? But it's just a glimpse and then it contracts right back in, right? So what you're saying is that yes, we can stay and evolve either way in all directions possible, but staying there almost acts like a tool to reprogram the whole concept of love to me, the concept of love. But what matters is the awareness that you're far away from your center, and then the action of coming back into the center, in which now whatever that you discovered out there can permeate from outward.
Mm,
And this action from there to here, it's like there I lose myself and I am collecting a toolbox or information that I am, that something else is me. And yet, and this is Gaffney too, and I'm going to tell you why Gaffney really talks about this really well. And then I'm coming back into me, and then I open myself up to with the different glasses on because something happened there. And then I became aware of, oh, I'm experiencing something. I became aware. Do I feel centered there or do I feel centered here? So sooner or later, I come back to me and then out of which I open from. And this is where he talks role mates, soulmates, whole mates. And then he adds, you cannot go to whole mate without finding unique self, which now he connects his whole work of uniqueness and authenticity that he talks about. Authentic self is like, okay, but this is still me. I cannot change. By
mm,
nature, I am me. And more of your uniqueness you discover, you will see that you're irrevocable in the entire universe and that you are now. So it invites this for you to understand that the role is different from the soul, the role you play in the relationship as man and wife, or mother and father, or lovers and stuff like, typical role mates. You do this, I'll do that. We're separated, Mars and Venus. And then, which means it moved to the soulmates, which is I'm more than just a wife, mother, and a maiden
Hmm.
or a father hunter and stuff like that. I have also soul awareness, right? And then that no longer is enough.
Hmm.
Now we're all aiming and moving towards the homemate, which is I'm this and that and unique. And that's what makes me whole and plus. So he says it as first is self-centeredness role, then
Hmm.
it's soulmate. I have something else to come in, which is soul, whole, one out there. And then I go into that state to experience oneness. And then I have to come back to self. With that perspective, now I become a different angled, unique self that then can ask for more than what I know. You following?
Yes.
So it's really interesting because I like that and I love the exploration, but you will always, no matter what, your roads are going to lead back to your center, whatever navel that he's talking about. So I vote for go and explore and come back because you'll need to come back.
Gemini. Um,
Yes, totally.
well, yeah, you being Gemini, me being Aries, of course, we're not going to just be like, let's stay here. Don't go out.
Totally.
Um,
Totally.
yeah, you gain perspective, and the temptation is, and it's, we could maybe get into this. I had, I struggled with what's the point of this life? Like, suicide being a very high aspirational thing because you're contemplating death, you're bringing it forward, and this life is suffering. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I think I'm too Pisces for this. Like, I just can't relate. I have too much. Of course, I have moments where I'm like, death would be a nice relief from this current experience, but I cannot help but feel enraptured by what a gift this experience is. And I don't know anything
Yeah.
else, right? So it's like the Piscean perspective where we're already up here and it's just not relatable to feel stuck in suffering for too long, right?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so I struggle with that. And so for you and I, it's natural to say, "Oh, let's explore and taste and see and relate and fall in love and learn to
Suffer.
love beyond just, you know, the animalistic nature. Like let's learn to love on a soul level and let's learn to love even those who don't love us back and let's learn to love parts of ourselves that we've suppressed and held back for so long. And then in that in that nature more of who we are is revealed naturally. It's the yeah, it's like as our awareness grows outward, the inward has room to stretch and
Hmm.
create more space within us. So,
And do that as a Pisces without smoking, drinking, drugging, and escaping.
well,
Yeah,
yeah, we dance, we do art, we listen to music.
we feel everything.
Sometimes we do microdose. Helps.
Mm. Washing machine. We take it all in, we wash it clean. Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I love that. And you pointed out something. Yes, it was actually it gave me so much disturbance, the suicide part.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I agree. I didn't like it that much.
yeah, and you you know my part why. Did I ever tell you that?
Hmm,
Did I ever tell you why the suicide disturbs me a lot? Do
please.
you know, right?
I don't think so. Maybe you said it. I'm trying to recall.
Well, okay,
Please
I'm gonna
share
pause
if you
for it.
can.
I'll pause for it. Well, my father.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
Yes, so I don't
Mhm.
talk about it publicly. But anyway, I have had a lot of analysis about it, and actually was a pivotal moment where I started learning about the psyche and
Mm,
how the mind is actually getting you to that point of despair, that there is no exit, right? So he presents this very different perspective about it
yeah,
because of the incapability and inability to sustain and live through the suffering that human life
yeah.
brings because we are here. And just to kind of evolve it, I was actually disturbed in my body for it. And I was like, oh, I have so much to work on it. And do I really want to work on it? Right. So it wasn't my choice. I just felt the wave of it. And it was just very, maybe just an antidote or refusal for me to accept that I would choose the ending over the continuation of it, right? So it's like there's, like you said, there's so much to experience here that if you
Mm.
are in a healthy in a healthy states of the body, mind, and heart and soul and energy, or one or the other, then you would have, you're in for a treat, right? If you sustain the life and experience what it feels to be human. But to do that, I come back to the 12-step AA meeting process, in which you will not continue this life, or you will not recover unless you have a connection with the higher forces, than self, the higher powers, or whatever that you called God, the something bigger than you. So that connection and relationship is necessary to elevate and alleviate the pressure of the mind that comes in. So without that, I think we would not be really, that's what I'm thinking. It's like you have to have something so much larger than you that you connect with, or that you really trust in, which is unknown, not scientifically proven, in order to sigh out all the pressure that humans between the two ears can put on themselves by default.
Yeah. Which
Interesting.
which is just a different way to say like where your center is, right? Just like going from like this, it's almost like the connection, whether it's religious or spiritual or non-physical, whatever it is. It just it has you feeling that your center isn't actually here. Like you can't possibly understand. It's almost like it reveals that our awareness isn't fully encompassing, that we're missing something, that there's more to it, that there's something beyond.
Hmm.
Um, but how would you say? I'm just curious. How, because some people just like struggle to make that connection, or they don't know. Maybe what it is they don't know how to navigate into that connection because they don't have the tools or the words to describe it. And then what was given to them by their culture doesn't
Hmm.
fit with what feels resonant. Like the religion that my household that I grew up in, it seems too restrictive. It has like it's not working for them. Like because you see the intimate relationship and the trauma that's passed down and all that stuff. Therefore, I have to reject it because it doesn't make sense that this loving presence or that there could be more because there. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of going on a rabbit trail here, but that the connection itself is
Hard to establish.
yeah, how to establish and like
Yeah, so I have a very simple answer to that.
mm,
That's why it takes crisis.
oh,
It takes
that's sad.
crisis of the mind, a mental breakdown. In a literal way, your
Mm,
mind is breaking down because you're almost like you no longer can take on the dark night of the soul.
yeah,
And because it's such a thick layer of programming, the
yeah.
developmental, especially, I don't know if I told you, I ended up doing this little research of self-worth. Whereas we talked about this, right? And how low self-esteem is in a high percentage here in the Western culture,
Yeah. Hmm.
right? And a high self-esteem someplace else, that it's not westernized. And if we don't find the value in ourselves, that is, we feel value, we are seeking elsewhere and we are born into it. So let's go back to who are your parents and what did you learn? Meaning, in your 0 to 5, when you're still connected heavily to the universe of oneness, when this is not, this part of the brain is still closing your portal, right? So you literally have, as a child, connection with it. That's why the kids stare and see different beings and different, it's like they don't make sense of it. There is no meaning that they're giving it. So we offer and train first as parents, our children, to have the meaning of what's right and what's wrong. Don't do that, do that, do that, without giving the explanations, without allowing them to explore. So, how I have never been told that I'm wrong for wanting to be different from every other girl. I
Yeah.
wanted to play football and I wanted to build houses with my
Hmm.
grandpa. My grandma pushed me to go to the kitchen traditionally. My mom
Yeah.
was like, no, let her go. Please let me run. I really need to run. I really need, I have this energy. Please, 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 I'm begging you. Let me just run
Hmm.
and I will be right back. She's like, okay, go. I had these bursts of energetic force inside of me that I had to get out through my legs. And I ran and I was best in sports. It was just like,
Hmm.
and I was like, please, can I cut this hair? It's too much. It's sweaty. I don't like it. And she allowed me to
Hmm.
explore, to evolve, to develop. So I don't know of, I do know, okay, let me go back. So developmental age, um, high school, I was bullied. I
Hmm.
loved protecting women because they didn't make sense that the boys were laughing at my friends who wore glasses, and I protected them. But that was
Hmm.
me, and I would come home and I would cry. It didn't make sense to me, and my mom would have to talk to me and talk to me and evolve me and evolve me. This woman lived in a tiny body, the most secluded, almost village, with a huge mind that it's open. And she
Yeah.
said, the sky is limit. Aim for high. Go, and not in a grandiose way, teaching me that I am bigger than anybody else, rather
Yeah.
than, no, there's more than this. There's more than this. And when I came to her to tell her I'm leaving the country, it never, she couldn't even understand it. But yet, what she said, this love of me for you as my child exceeded what I can give. Now I have to offer for the sake of your freedom, your evolution. I have to take on the suffering. So she let me go into crushing pain, into the world that she's never seen with her eyes. She never knew of. It was in a total unknown. I say, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going on the other side of the planet. I don't know how big it is. I have no sense of it, but I'm going. I have to go, otherwise I will die. So the love turned to pain, which was even bigger in the opposite. So that's how I always had this connection into, okay, well, I don't know who to believe. I don't have anybody else to believe other than myself. And something inside of me that was not reprogrammed as wrong, as sinful, and, guided me. So
Hmm.
you ask, how do you develop this? Yes, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of people that don't have the connection with it. That's why religion played a huge role in the materialistic world and in the age that we lived in, right? So it it when everything is lose, we lose everything. We lose sense when nothing else works. We lift the
Yeah. We give up.
hands
Hmm.
and we pray and we pray. And
Hmm.
that, I believe, deeply sustained us because we then had to have connection to something to make sense of why are we here. And without that connection, we wouldn't even be here. So I think that's why we're programmed through this thickness. And it takes crisis of this, which is an almost breakdown of it, of mental concepts, in order to drop into the body. It's
Hmm.
unfortunate, but it's very real. And it does happen to me too.
Yeah. I I will ask this delicately, and you can navigate around it if it's too uncomfortable.
Mm.
But I want to ask, Do you feel like the crisis of your father's decision helped your mom to open up to love you in a different way? Because did that happen at a young age for you?
Oh no. My father committed suicide a couple years ago. My
Oh, okay.
mom, this was 6, 7, I actually lost track of it. Um, my mother divorced my father when I was 2 legally, and
Okay.
she took me out of the house actually, and she was like a cat of 19 lives, survived the huge abuse
Mm,
by my father. But I was actually rejected by my entire family. They didn't want me because I wasn't male to continue the the bloodline, very
yeah.
typical patriarchal. And because everybody hated that I am a female, they didn't want me. She wanted me even more. So
Mm,
for for that reason, she actually wanted to, for that same reason, all that love came bursting through me. So I was protected by my mother from all the rejections and hates. And to this day, I actually have, I don't have such a deep connection with them at all, because I'm
mm,
there, I'm nice, I'm cordial, but there's no, there's no, almost like it feels energetically totally disconnected. There's no
mm,
cord, energetic cord that I can, it's, I accept everything that comes from them, and I don't really get bothered by it as if there's indifference, right? So, yeah.
mm.
So the awakening, so my father is in my DNA. I look like my father more than I look like my mother. Physically, all this body is his body, hands, nails. I look at it and I'm like, my toes are like exactly the same. And he was a beautiful man. And believe I have a different love for him. And that love is curious. And he
Yeah.
actually, I also feel and believe that he also had love that he didn't know how to express towards me.
Yeah.
And yet it was just a total refusal. It was, a, almost like authoritative. He wanted to control me and he couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's almost like, don't do this, don't do that, don't call me like that. It was very, almost very like aggressive. And I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't raised like that. My mom never said a bad word about my father. So there was so much love that was maintained inside that I think he wanted part of it so much so that he never said it.
Mm.
But I know. So did that answer your question?
Yeah, I did.
I think
And
it was a catalyst for me to start learning about the human psyche, just because I still to this day don't understand how you get to that point where you simply give up of yourself.
mm, mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a 4 year period for me, I think from 16 till 20, where um my uncle committed suicide and I wasn't terribly close with him, but it was like he was a pastor and it was just kind of
Mm,
like that's not, you're not supposed to do that, right?
mm,
Um and for me still being in in the religious side of the world, I'm like he should be closest. He should be like the most stable out of all of us. And then I had a teammate on our college track team who committed suicide and it's always out of the blue. I mean, it's like,
yeah.
if you're talking deeply in that way, they're probably less likely to have it happen. So it just came suddenly and it was a shock for everyone that knew them. And yeah, it's hard to fathom and there's so much pain around that with like leaving a family behind, leaving friends
Yeah.
behind, that this is why it's difficult to contemplate how you could approach suicide with
A choice.
a choice and actually with like, you know, that actually makes sense. It's like you're destroying the mind in that way. You're you're alleviating the suffering of life. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's different
Very,
for sure.
very delicate subject.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like, oh, my whole body was just closed off when I was
Mhm.
reading how this back in a day in some fields and branches of Tantra or whatever, East preachings was to do just that.
Yeah.
But he said, don't think of it through your mind. Go
Hmm.
deeper. Go deeper. And that's where I think everything that we consume with the mind is going to cause the suffering because
Yeah.
everything, well, not everything, but most of the things that we think through our mind as truth are going to cause us one or the other extreme. And I love how he says, go deeper. It's actually beneath it. That the point, even of the suicide, just saying that really, even like, yeah. But to go deeper in it is to understand actually not the purpose, the point. Understand that one point, that totality, that absolute.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah,
Yeah.
when I go deep into it, to me, it's like you draw down into a point, and then with the hope that on the other side is complete expansion, right? It's like this in suffering feels like shrinking and constriction and tightness and agony and all these difficult feelings to hold on to. And then the hope is you'll be expanded out into love. And no other path seems feasible because you've up to this point in your life you've tried everything. Um and I understand this is delicate and I'm not trying to speak for people that are struggling with these thoughts or in this way. I just it's an attempt to have empathy for
Yeah.
the experience and for people who don't see a way out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an attempt. Yeah. Can't quite get through though.
Did it brought tears to your eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Um, because I would want for someone to know the connection so that they could feel a sense of purpose and belonging, right?
Yeah.
I would just want that for someone who's there. And of course, in approaching this in contemplation of the other, we have the reflection back to ourselves of like, you know, you and I have had dark moments for what it's worth, and it's just having that approach. And I think there's a little bit of like quantum, esoteric, unexplainable presence that occurs in my dark moments where I feel like it could be my future self, could be higher self, could be some other aspect. It could just be connection to something else. That it's there and it's holding space for it, right? That's all it can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the mind is such a powerful part of us that can run havoc in our
Yeah.
lives. That's true. And, just to touch base on that, the and then we can move on after it. But when so much in the mind, the connection with love is less and less. The connection, what you said, is like I wish people know that they needed connection.
Mm.
I wish the connection for them, the love. And I've known few people also that ended their life earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and they needed the love. They
Yeah.
needed the love, yet the love was given to them, and they just couldn't connect with it
Yeah.
anymore.
They
So
can't accept it. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a very, very delicate thing too. So
Okay, to do a soft pivot here.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting, or how do you feel? He says it's not where the center is, it's the act of centering itself that matters. But then there's no centering that can happen from the mind,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why?
right? Why?
Why? Why? The same thing. Because, well, let's use a simple example in loving relationships,
Hmm.
in a relating with others. Love and hate. You can't enter into a relationship, he explains, without thinking that it will all be love, without the hate. When it's the mind love based in mind,
Hmm.
it's going to ask and always bring the oppositions, two dualities.
Hmm.
And
It struggles
it,
with holding both.
yes, and it is so true because when I'm jealous, I'm not jealous from my heart. I'm jealous from my mind. When I want what I want it from my mind. And
Yep.
I want it my way,
Hmm.
right? So it brings the invitation to wonder how do you love? Do you love from your mind or do you love from your heart? If you love from your mind, love and hate are part of it. Dualities are part of it. The opposition. So you are false in thinking you are only love. And he breaks it down really nicely because he touches, then you're okay. I actually want to read. It's really short.
Sure.
If I am angry and I love you, okay, but
Go.
chills.
Yeah.
If you cannot fight with your lover, if you cannot be angry, then the authenticity of the love is lost. If you suppress your anger, that suppressed anger will become a part of you. And that suppressed anger will not allow you to totally let go while in love.
Hmm.
It is always there. You are withholding it. You have suppressed it. Watch this. If I'm angry and I have suppressed it, then when I'm loving, the suppressed anger is still there.
Hmm.
And that will make my love dead. So, what
Hmm.
he is inviting, even if you are in the mind, at least express all that there is, including anger and jealousy, and be honest with self, with the other, which is authentic. Whatever that is showing up today, I love you. And it reminded me actually on you and Carly, you said in one of our previous Jinkies, I think you said, I don't know, we were talking. It's like, I love you so much and I hate you so much, right? And I love that expression. I think she exploded with it, right? In the
Yeah.
sense. And you were like so confused on what, why? But it was so
Hmm.
authentic and it came out because it was real. And then he closes off with why he's asking you to do that, because only reality can be transcendent. So
Hmm. Hmm.
be, if anything, be honest that your love is mind love. And as such, love and
Right.
hate are parts. If love and hate are parts, be authentic, real, because it will help
Hmm.
transcend the unreal, into transcend your reality. I
Hmm.
love that.
So you know what's refreshing nowadays?
Mm.
When someone just comes out and says, "This is my motivation, and I don't care if you think it's selfish." Like, do you ever hear that? And you're like, "Oh, it's kind of nice because now I don't have to guess, or it's not like posturing. It's not trying to appear a certain way." Yeah.
Yeah. And that is very, very beautiful. It's scary too.
Right. It's powerful.
The upcoming transits are going to help with that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I can feel it. I can feel like this. Yeah, this pulling into it. It's coming very soon.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And the age of Aquarius, meaning the total freedom to be
Yeah.
unique, individuated self.
Yeah.
2,000 years ahead of us of this. Imagine.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Part of before I knew anything about astrology, we were in Vegas before we met, and Matthias De Stefano, he got on stage. He's like, I don't know why I'm on stage. I'm more like a librarian, so not an entertainer. He's like, we're entering the age of Aquarius. Um, and he went into like how it connects with everything, and then he's at the end, he's like, well, I can give you this. Like the best thing to do in the age of Aquarius is to party and to dance and to like have festival, like have this time of communion and coming together and releasing. Um,
Totally.
so that is the balancing act of the fire that comes up. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
But to bring this full circle, I feel like at first I was kind of annoyed with I'm like these questions are just kind of all over the place. And after talking with you, I'm like, oh my God, it's all just like this pocket of truth. It's so good. Um, the repression, right? So like anything that's repressed will muddy the waters of truth and of love. And
Mm.
so it's in the expression that we find release. We also find connection.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
we went down the path of why people can't find connection. And you said, well, they need crisis. They only need crisis if they're suppressing
Mm-hmm.
because it's like nothing. It's like they finally let go and in this thinking of like, well, the consequences are no longer valid. Whereas before the consequences were, they were present and they were right in front of me, meaning it was never safe in my home to show my emotions, to show anger, to show frustration, or to admit that I'm just not feeling well. And then you carry that with you. And then until there's a crisis when you can break that glass container open and, grab the emergency fire extinguisher and put the fire out or let the fire burn. Um, and, and then I'm folding it out and realizing like, oh yeah, this book is the the emanation continuation of ancient tantric practices. And tantra is just love and acceptance by nature. And so it's like, hmm, I'm also unpacking this with myself and with being a parent, being a father, being a husband and a lover with shame and learning that shame kind of is the undercurrent of most relationships, even the relationship with myself and unpacking that, learning to love more and more and just using that as a frame of navigating instead of waiting for the crisis to occur or allowing the
Mm-hmm.
suppression to be a part of this experience because I'm realizing now like this anything that is repressed, anything that is held back prevents the totality and that's what he's talking about. So like here we are coming full circle and
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, so really and then thinking too, I'm sorry this is like it's like kind of like a manic episode,
Oh,
but
please.
um how you I think you said it like December, November of last year. Um, how you and I are at the forefront of feeling emotions and how we kind of advocate for and we model and we lead others into a deeper experience of emotional awareness. And at the time I was like, no, it's kind of lame. It's not
Are you serious?
yeah, I'm like, okay, like
I love it.
really? Is that my calling here? Um, but the more that seed sits in the soil, the roots are growing, and I'm like, man, this is potentially something very, very powerful, and something very big is coming out of it.
Yes.
Um, yeah, even if it's
Yes.
just this, but I have this sense with this Aries energy that's on the horizon. I'm like, yeah, there's some. big movements coming. There's some big pushing
Hmm.
energy. Yeah.
But can I add to that? Look what it took. Look how long it took, and look what it took. What we did, we just keep coming back to it. And what we did not identify with any of it. And that allowed us to come back to it. So there was no agenda and there was no judgment. We were like, we'll just show up for it. What? I mean, we have 1 hour a week, right? So we kept coming back to it, coming back to it. So that time that it took for us to open up and think a bit differently and allow something else to come in and permeate itself. So I think that repetitiveness, that consistency, also that devotion and dedication to it that we didn't know and giving up of it. We actually started with this is not for us at all. This is not us. This is not to personify
Mm-hmm.
and use it for anything rather than just keep coming back. Look how long it took.
Yeah.
Takes slow blossoming. That's why it takes time and it takes, but so the question is, what made you keep coming back to it? No agenda. I think it's no agenda and total freedom to be with no judgment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we were in it together, which made us not feel crazy to do this. So now
Mm-hmm.
it's two of us, which is fine. If I'm the only one, I'm against the world, but now two we can handle. So there is a certain container that we created that we now it became part of life. And that freedom to explore and go and come back and bounce and cry and be and angry, all these things we allow the space for it to come and evolve itself and evolve us through it. So everything changed because we started freeing up what inside was untold.
Yeah. And I even have moments of maybe it's doubt. Uh like
Totally.
like Malitz and I just go with whatever comes up. And then there's this like small voice of doubt that's like, maybe that's not a good strategy. Right. It's like who else is doing that on the internet? I'm like, I don't see anyone else
Yeah.
being comfortable with like, where is this taking us?
Hello.
And just go with it. You know, people will get caught, like they'll catch themselves and be like, I digress. Anyway, back to the top. And it's like maybe the digression is what's needed. Maybe the exploration and the play into digression is what's needed now more than ever. Because yeah, it's hard to say because it worked for us. Maybe it wouldn't work for everyone, but yeah,
I'm
maybe.
going to tell you something.
Tell me
I'm going to tell you
something.
something.
Tell me everything.
Okay, I might be crazy for thinking this way, but I am observing every time where there is a structure, the potential
Mm-hmm.
stops.
Mm-hmm.
The potential of it, like literally, it's a limitation by default in anything, in love, in relationship, in work, in idea, in creative force, in release, in release, in
Yeah.
transmutation. Every time when you think, oh, I gotta go, I have 5 minutes, I can't cry anymore. Okay, it disappears. It literally it shuts it off.
Yeah.
It
Even
stops. It's a
even the
hard.
subconscious wiping the tears. That's a yeah. It's teaching the body.
Yes.
It's not acceptable.
So until there's no structure, there's an potential for infinity. The
Yeah.
moment we structure it, it will be the moment where it dies.
Oh, my mind is
Sorry,
going
Eric.
crazy now.
Good. Have a mental breakdown.
It's going crazy because I'm like, there's no way that we can possibly
Hmm.
allow for all of it, right? It's like there's yeah, it goes was it you and Meredith who talked about this as this like
Pivot.
too much aspect, or maybe it was just me and you.
Mm.
But in my in my south node of Cancer, this wound of being too much to hold. So it's like anytime I'm in the mind trying to understand the realm of possibilities, then I feel like, oh, it's too much. It can't be. By its nature, it is too much, right? That's the whole point. But it's like it's in my attempt to try to, right, it's like, okay, I'm catching myself. It's a protection mechanism that I have of let me define how it's too much, how I'll be too much, so we can just stop this right here because it's not going to
Mhm.
work. And that's how I learned to survive my experience.
Yes, yes. And
But
to come back to blah, to come back to Mares, she did note your north, south and north node are Cancer and Capricorn, right? So fourth
hmm
and the 10th house. Your placements are the same like hers. But what she pointed out was that you live, leave. Okay, you live in these portals.
yeah,
And these portals are in a complete opposition, okay? The mind.
yeah, yeah,
So your too much emotional is no emotion to structure. Literally, you're
yeah,
now practicing and flexing both sides, what you know of how to do and what you're learning how to do. But come back to Osho and be like, well, where's the middle?
the delicate, yeah.
Same.
It's so yeah, and I think this is why him saying it's delicate touched me because it feels when
Mm,
you truly get there, it feels like you're could it just explode? Like you, like how can I just want to jump to one side or the other. Being right here, it's just like
yeah.
yeah, because
You're still
you're in
operating
the
in
middle of
South
like a
Node, though.
black hole, kind of. You're being pulled.
Yeah. So, okay, well, let me just suggest something. You're still operating majorly from your South Node up until 37.
Yeah.
So
Well,
don't suppress
I
it.
I think I'm trying to get ahead of it, but as I
You
said,
can't say, of course, you
I'm
want
like
to get
I'm
there now.
preparing.
No.
I'm preparing. Look at me, business structure,
But we're talking about the,
legacy. I'm doing it. Yeah. No.
yeah. But like look at it from the sense way. It's like I can get there with my mind, but really, am I really ready to get there? And he talks about this a lot. And even in Gene Keys, when combined, they talk about this like time and evolution, that it's
hmm
natural, organic, that we can't fast forward and take the bullet train ticket to get to. Like it has to have its own evolving, and then it becomes concrete. Sorry, it then becomes the sense that it's part of you that you can't ever deny. So enjoy your
Yeah.
south node, sir. Feel it when you go
Well,
and do the
yeah, and
groceries
that's
next time.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I'm It's yeah, I'll share this with
I
you.
love-
Maybe you have perspective. Yeah, because I do feel the more I'm like I'm gonna be north, I'm gonna be 10th house Capricorn. It's like I'm like, oh my God, this book on good inside and like de-shaming my kids and like crying with them and just holding. I'm like, I love it. It's a huge part of me and it feels like the most important thing right now. Um,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? My God.
You want to be a Capricorn, but rather than what you're feeling is totally different right now.
Yeah, it's I feel like a pressure. Um, I think because it's like midheaven, north node, Saturn and Neptune and legacy. It's like it's all gonna fit together, but it feels so big. Like you said, like it's big. It's gonna be huge. It's way bigger than anything you can do right now. And I'm like, oh God, I better prepare for this. I better have something. Because what I maybe this is like the shadow side of it is to not leave a legacy or to leave a scar instead of a beauty mark, which,
Hmm.
right, two sides of the same coin. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
And can I just add this? 2000 years from now, this
Oh, even
whole
yeah, even 100 years from
century,
now,
yeah,
we'll
this
be
whole
forgotten about.
century will just be one sentence.
hmm
This whole century will be just one sentence in the history books.
hmm
So all of us together joined will become just one sentence. And all
I
these
don't know.
trials.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're at a pretty pivotal point.
Okay. Possible,
Yeah, could be a paragraph.
possible. And then this morning I thought I was like, wow, we're reading. I got two new books from Blavatsky that arrived the other day. And I looked at them this morning because they're my gifts on the Christmas tree. All my books are on the Christmas tree. I was like, let me see what I got. And then why I say this because she left something for the generations ahead of the time without knowing, and she recorded it. And where are we going to record our contemplations, right? On internet that will be censored or whatever, used by some other intelligence and mixed up. There's no other way, there's no elsewhere to record it other than in the heart and the
Yeah,
experience itself. So whatever that we're leaving as legacy will actually have a deeper imprint in our own being or our own seed, the star that we are, whatever, I don't know how else to call it. And the exchange really that we penetrated and connected on that deeper level with another energy. So to me, it's more like energetic legacy rather than the
yeah,
actual materialized, concretized legacy. I don't know. That's how I'm thinking. But my whole chart talks about the gifts that are unseen and immaterial. So don't listen to me. Go and build
mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
Burj Khalifa that is telepathic. I don't know. Maybe you can.
Well, what I'm gathering from my chart is that it's background, but it's like structure that affects everybody. It's so it's like it's not that my name and my face will be attached to
Mhm,
it, but
mhm, mhm.
you could, yeah. So I'm like, okay, still feels like a lot of pressure. But yeah, I do appreciate
Capricorn will do that.
hmm I do appreciate that this experience with you, I feel most prepared compared to any other path I might have taken. So, and I think that will continue if it remains in alignment, as we
Yeah.
say. If it ever is not, then we move on and we allow for the love to bloom into transition
Yeah.
and dissolution.
Yeah. And first, try to give up of it at the beginning.
Yeah, and that's a continual process.
So give up of your mountain. We gave up of this podcast. At the beginning, we said, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still in it 2 years later. Try to give up at it, off it at the beginning.
Okay.
You're like, I can't. It doesn't make
No, I can't.
sense.
I mean, yeah, just meditate more.
But you, my friend, are in major transits. So you're
I
gonna
am.
get,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna explode. Your life is going to change. So, but it's going to take some time. It's going to be in the next few years, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you have Saturn and but I have to look at your chart again, and you're in for a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're moving next week.
Oh,
Getting a new car soon. Taking vacation.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, it's like it's already here we are.
Okay. Do you want to skip next week? Or are we good?
Oh no, we're good.
Let me know
Not gonna skip anything.
and enjoy. Have a belly laugh. Don't forget, life's
Oh
not
yeah,
that
yeah,
serious.
yeah. It doesn't feel like weighty. It actually feels like fun.
Nice.
Looking forward to it because yeah, the Piscean depth was it was it just was.
And you know what's interesting? We have Neptune, I believe, in Pisces for 18 years. 18
Hmm.
years. And I'm like, wow, my whole, I've been
Adulthood.
in the United States for, yeah, since college. So when it moves to the Aries, it's gonna go be there for the next 18 years and watch where you are in life.
Yeah. Hmm.
So your next 18 years will be concrete dreams,
Yeah.
action for it, clarity. And Saturn will be there for 3 years. So, the difference is like something stays for a large chunk of our life. That is the peak. That's your MC. MC is the peak of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Understand this as the top, the peak. IC is the bottom, which is inner child. So it's very much inner versus outer. MC is the peak expression of your life, that it's external to the world, how you are going to be seen. This is happening in the next 18 years in sign of Aries. So you, my friend, are going to have half of it in the 12th house, which is all the death and resurrection and the higher house, holy temples and the hospitals and, crazy. And then it's going to move into all about you, your first
Mm.
house, which changes your whole zodiacal wheel and transfers. You have a fresh start from zero. So big
Yeah.
deal, huge deal. So
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
to find some time to relax and have fun with this. And you and I are going through similar, well, actually different transits at the same time because mine is crossing over ascendant as well. When the planets cross over ascendant that are outer
Mm-hmm.
planets it's a huge deal, bigger than just Mercury, Venus, and everything that it's personal. Yeah,
What's
huge
crossing
deal.
over your ascendant right now?
Uranus.
Going
That's
into
Uranus
Jupiter,
opposition.
right? Or sorry, going to
You,
Gemini.
yeah,
Yes,
my
yes, yes.
Gemini.
Oh yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
be huge too.
Oh, That's 8 years. Massive. So,
Yeah,
outer planets
technology,
that are hitting us
communication.
now
Yeah.
are changing the generate. These are all generational planets,
Mm-hmm.
collective planets. So they're all making a huge turn. And depending on where it's happening for you, and for you, it's going to happen across ascendant. For me, also one planet goes over ascendant. When it's ascendant in question, that's a massive. You're not going to recognize yourself. You'll
Mm-hmm.
be a different
Mm-hmm.
person. So get ready for that. Take that, my friend.
All
Hmm.
right.
Okay. All
It's
right.
funny how
Sending. All right.
our talks have been more and more astrology over time. But I just want to share something you might
Yeah.
find kind of funny. Is
Mm.
I became aware of like the mid-April 8 planets in Aries, and Carly's been planning this vacation. Her mom was the one that kind of set the dates, and I
Uh-huh.
was like, I don't want to travel. I don't want to be traveling during this time. And Carly's like, why? I'm like, there's too much. There's too much Aries. There's too much Aries. So I actually moved it. We're returning a little bit earlier. I want to like give a buffer. But
Yeah.
even being like gone the first week of April, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna be on a little bit of a guard, a little bit of a watch. And then I booked I usually don't do insurance for flight tickets or for flights, and I did this time because I'm like, who knows? I might need to cancel for some reason.
Oh, wow. But you see how helpful it is to at least lean into something. And
Hmm.
it might not be true. We also think of astrology and these transits like, oh my God, it's so zoomed into something big is gonna happen. But it doesn't necessarily need to be, just kind of almost like get a sense of, it can be
Yeah.
active, fiery, it can be argumentative, it can be you know, heady.
Hmm. Yeah.
Excellent podcast. Though I don't think that we went into the depth of the love, but it's okay. It's not meant to be.
Wait, are you sure?
Yeah, it's all right. We're
No,
flow.
I mean, are you sure that we didn't go into it? That means you have
Ooh.
more.
Oh, I have always more related to it. So much so that I
Mm.
can't wait to turn 90 and understand my whole life from the lenses of different love. The 55 Jinky is hard to deal with sometimes
Yeah. Yeah. This the yeah.
because you're so alone in it, right? And that's the difference. It's like, but then someone has to. And I'm not saying this is where Pisces can become a victim too. I'm not saying of it as in a victim size, but rather than, gosh, it feels really alone to not be understood, the depth and a bigger sense. And yeah, I'm just watching it fall off again and again and again. And I was like, oh, this sucks. What's this?
Yeah.
But can't stop it once you're on it.
Yeah. Where are you seeing it fall off?
And the with the chain, what a lot of goodbyes,
Yeah.
lots of goodbyes, good goodbyes, and lots of good connections, deep connections, long connections that and
Yeah.
so.
I haven't had those yet. So it just makes me very curious about where you're experiencing it. Maybe it's like you're in a, it's like we have portals on the earth. Maybe you're just in this place where it's emanating out like a greater change.
I mean, I experience it everywhere in friendships, in loverships, at work, right? So but you're talking about something that means a lot, something that you really invested a lot. And, it's really almost like nerve-wracking to let it go and not hold on to it. Then I'm also noticing, yes.
That delicate middle.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other day I was so edgy and I was like, oh my God, I need to cry. I really need to cry. I need to burst. And I couldn't burst. And I was like, okay, I need to burst. I need to burst. And I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I was just like, ah, whatever. I'll just deal with it. So I'm like, whatever, I'll deal with it. And I'm dealing with it actively. And I don't know what I'm doing
Yeah.
half the time. And I'm watching Avatar. Avatar. I don't know if you've seen the Avatar, the new one.
No, I haven't seen it.
And it takes me a
Fire.
week. Uh-huh. Fire and Ash. It takes me 3 weeks to finish a movie, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. So this is my third sitting on it. And I'm watching, and there's this moment, Eric, there was this moment when he took a knife and wanted to, in order to save his entire race, wanted to kill a humanoid
Yeah.
who he loved so much. And the humanoid turned around and says, I'm okay, I understand. Oh my God, it touched me so much. I literally, okay, I understand what
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to do. I just want to know, do you love me? Before you do
Mm-hmm.
that, do you love me? And he said, with my whole heart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And I literally was like,
Mm.
and I closed the laptop and I just felt everything. Oh my God, did I bawl out? Because these two polarities were actually exactly exposing itself to the movie. It's like I have the ending and
Mm-hmm.
the beginning with so much love, and it just touched me so deeply, and I couldn't finish the movie, and I just cried for a good hour after that, and I cried out loud, and it was such a good release, so it was perfect.
Oh, beautiful. See?
Hmm.
You didn't force it and you just
Oh
said,
no, I couldn't wait for it. I was like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
coming, yes. Yeah. Anyway,
Beautiful.
emotions are good. Whoever says they're not, taking, yeah, takes time.
They can take a hike.
Anyway,
Okay,
any
well,
any last thoughts?
yeah, I'm just gonna read this. Um, Osho shared the story about Jesus and Mary Magdalene that he says. Um, he said, "Only I can love you," and he was right. But that love has a different quality. That love does not have the polar opposite, the contrast. Thus, the tension is missing, the excitement is missing. He is not excited about love, not feverish, and love is not a relationship for him. It is a state of being. And I think when you share with me your deepening love and how it's not being reciprocated, it's not being held, people are falling off. To me, I imagine you're just in a state. It's not really something that you're doing. It's not really something you're saying, but it's my own idea of how it's playing out for you. But really, in like new agey terms, it's like you're holding a certain vibration, you're holding this energy, and if it's too much for people, they have to remove themselves because
Yeah.
they can't coexist in that space.
It's so wild. And I cannot refuse it. I cannot do anything about it other than accept it. There's not one thing that I can do anything with it other than accept it. And I'm noticing that it's so, and I'm not trying to even question it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even question, is it really the state of love that I'm in, right? I cannot even question it.
Yeah.
Again, that's why it's like it's there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What I do know is that I don't want to change you. What I
Mm-hmm.
do know is that I don't want you to be different. What I do know is that I respect your decision. What I do know is that I also see that you have a choice and this is what you're choosing. I see that. I understand that. And I don't change any of it. It's really weird. It's wild and it's weird and it's freaky.
Mm-hmm.
And but I cannot question it. I no longer can question. And I see humble me comes in and says, okay, well, let's just erase everything. And I don't want to even talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
much is like, I don't even want to talk about it.
Gross.
I'd rather just be,
Yeah. Yeah,
yes,
and that's why it's delicate because it's like it can be
yeah.
cracked on this side and it can be exploded on the other side. It's like
Hmm.
it can like crumble under the weight of the expectation, and it can also explode from just like the strength of the emanation or the strength of the energy that's there. And holding that middle point is so delicate. But you know, you're probably having this greater capacity for it because in what you shared before in lovemaking, like this Neptunian dissolution of self and just like further and further levels of releasing through this act. And it can be any act, it doesn't have to be making love, but that guides your soul and your awareness into a trust of
Hmm.
you're still safe. Like, and it's in further relaxation, relief, and release when the access point can grow, but it's not in anything that we're actually doing. It's like in the undoing. It's like in the holding, just this center in between. Um, yeah, so I'm honored to be here with you in this experience. I'm honored that you and I are sharing such deep exploration and connection in a cerebral way, but we also connect energetically. It's very obvious. And yeah, I'm super grateful for you. Just want to,
Same.
yeah.
I'm happy you get me.
Yeah, I get you. I get you a lot. I even had this,
Yeah.
I'll admit something.
Uh,
Um, in watching you with Mare, I'm like, I'm like, Mare, she's trying to open you up. Like she's like, and I think Mare got it to a point, but I think because she has her legacy, she has her business, and she's done so much astrology that it's like, it's just kind of so rooted that it would be like for you and I, it would take maybe 10, 15 podcasts to kind of navigate
yeah.
through that and around it. But you were like, how do you drop it? Like, how do you let go of it? And she's like, I can't really let go of it. You know, I was hearing that. Um, and I could just see into your heart and what was coming out. And I was like, oh, I wanna like help to bridge or just hold space for it. But also recognizing that my attachment to you and then, okay, yeah, I can learn to release that as well.
Yeah. And that's interesting because you know the depth and the vastness that we get to tap into. And then you see it playing out differently to it's not the limitation of the energy, but rather than the energy itself just wants to stay in this container.
Yeah.
And adaptability to it, I think, is helpful to know that I'm able to adapt to its capacity or their capacity. And every podcast is different.
Yeah.
And what she was saying is like pivoting is crucial, true. And then curiosity is also really helpful, which is really what I'm doing the entire time. It's almost like, okay, well, I can pivot, I can see how much you can crack. And if you can't, then we stay there. But staying
Mm-hmm.
there is right. So I can't expect a fire to come deep down into the water, and she's a lot of fire.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I cannot, but understanding that is opening me up to easily accept the difference, right? So I think that's why astrology is very helpful to it. But I love that you tapped into it, that you were able to, and this is what I think if you're operating at that depth or that width or height or whatever that it is, it's like you're able to recognize this in people. You will
Yeah.
be able to tune into it. And that's, I think that's the fine tunement towards how far you can go with someone. And also
Mm-hmm.
proves the point is that in order for you to evolve, you need a variety. You need a
Yeah.
variety of different levels and expansions and limitations. You need this variety in order to know
Yeah.
how,
Mm-hmm.
where, and what, who you are, and how much you can change and adapt.
Mm-hmm.
But is it so hard for the fixed signs? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. It is hard coded in a freaking stone hieroglyphs. It's like,
Yeah. Start
it's not
chiseling.
movable.
Give me 1,000 years
Just
to start to carve something out of it. Yeah.
and so then you wonder, where are the fixations coming from? Part is not fixed. Meaning
The bones, the mind.
here.
Yeah.
You never go, oh, let me cool my heart down a little bit. No, you always go here. Because it's so, you yeah, fixations are hard things. And also, and then, okay, well, if somebody is heady, again, coming back to or fixated, if this is the another lesson that they need to learn in this lifetime, in this little mini spot of the infinity for them, it's like, oh well, I have to let them be fixated. I cannot change. See?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just why understanding of it, it's very helpful to understand who you're dealing with and also what is
Yeah.
they're here to do. And they're doing it very well by learning how
Mm-hmm.
to be so fixed.
Yeah. And you're super mutable, so you're designed to adjust, and it's like your mutability allows you to have a conversation in a fixed state. Whereas I have mutability, but I'm a little bit more cardinal. I have some fixed too, and I struggle in different contexts.
Mm,
It's like in the context of one-on-one conversation, if it doesn't go deep, then I have like this like frustrated I have like a frustrated feeling around it. Like,
mm,
and so I'm noticing this because I'm doing sales now, sales calls to help Carly in her business. And I've had three so far. And the one person, it was just like, yep, mm-hmm, good. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, and I just was like, more questions, more questions, more questions. I'm just curious.
hmm
And I was honestly, I'm like, I want to know what's really going on here. And it was, there's some protection because she didn't feel quite safe to open up to that level, and it's fine. And then there was someone who was kind of in between. And then this most recent one I had, it was like 5 minutes in, and she's just bawling, and I'm like, okay, so we have a wide range of potentials and how deep someone can go and how long it takes. And it's yeah,
mm.
like you said, the variety helps to be a teacher, and I'm grateful for. And I can see how you having a podcast is such a wonderful tool for your own heart and your own centering.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm expecting total opposite too,
Mm,
which I do have comments here and there, which is so brutal. And I'm like laughing at them because not brutal, but they're very directly opposing the force. It's like it's equally
yeah.
opposing force. It's it's like you have to get ready for it. It won't go without it. It won't be all nice and beautiful. It's like and soft and gentle and fragile and vulnerable and you know But it is what it is. We go with it and I allow it. See, because I don't have the agenda, I allow it to develop itself. And if it's meant to close, it will close. And I already see where is it transforming. It's
Yeah.
transforming into a deep, like contemplative space as well for a lot of people want to come in and study. I love that. And I was like, well, perfect. Let's just open it as a study. I'll continue
Hmm.
with it and we'll go where it evolves. And it's powerful to allow such energy to evolve itself and change, but fixed when, yeah, I'm 90% mutable. It does help. I don't know how to break that for people. It's hard.
Hmm. Yeah.
Unless you're talking their language. So this is why the tool is
Yeah.
helpful. To tell me your Mercury. And you know how you can know your Mercury? You
Hmm.
can actually try this. Ask them where their sun is and you will
Hmm.
see the sun when or they birthed, right? So if they're say they're Gemini, the
Hmm.
Mercury is 1 to 2 signs either before or after.
Is
It
it
doesn't.
like 30 degrees or what's the
Yes,
actual? Yeah.
yeah. It's like
Yep.
it can either be the same sign or
Hmm.
one or before and after, max
Hmm.
two, which is rare. So just know the way that they need to be. They talk if it's sales, and see if you can adapt to the way that they need to talk.
Right.
So if you're
Hmm.
talking to someone who has a Capricorn Mercury, very logical, to a point, practical, clear. Uh, yeah, if somebody is in Pisces, talk the fantasy.
Yeah. And I'm Mercury in Aquarius, I believe. I've noticed a couple times I've referenced my own chart and gone back and been like, well, I said that wrong. That's not true. But I believe I'm Mercury in Aquarius. And yeah, so it's like it's kind of helping me to bridge a little bit. But the
But you know what that means, right? When I talk to you, yes,
hmm.
that's how you talk to me. But if I want to connect with you, I need to talk your Aquarian way, which is higher mind,
Hmm. Yeah.
very smart, very highly intelligent. You don't take stupid. But if you want to sell, you have to take them, which is hard for you because,
Yeah.
you know, I love
Yeah,
humanity. I don't like people. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I get in trouble with that. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm not and I'm not looking Carly and I we had this discussion. We're not looking to build a dominant business and do all this stuff. It's like we're trying to have impact and that comes with depth and we really just want people who are ready for it. And so there's a natural filtering and then it allows us to just be more explorative and then just allow the energy to match when it matches and then it kind of frees me up a little bit. And it frees her up too. Whereas before we
Hmm.
started this like business mentorship, we were following it to a T and it's someone else's fixed way of this is how it's done and you follow it and you'll succeed. And it's like, um, in my experience, that's not you can't cookie cutter something and just dish it out to people that have wildly different approaches and language and usefulness available to them. Um, yeah, and I think there's going to be a big shift in the future around how coaches coach because
Mm, totally.
it's kind of been disregarded in that sense. It's just like, selling my own shirt off my back, like, you know,
Totally.
right.
Totally. It has to come with the heart. It reminded me, do you know why F45 franchise works and it's so successful? Because it's the only franchise, a gym where you go and you lift heavy metal.
Yeah. Is that your gym?
Be Yes,
Yeah.
because they're personal. They actually take time to talk to people.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
three coaches with it, and they talk to you. They
Hmm.
actually have a person-to-person conversations, and they move around. They're not just barking what you need to do and telling you because it's such a fast speed, but they actually connect with you. And it's the only difference from berries and any other equinox. It's like you
Yeah.
literally are there, human to human,
Yeah, I
and
did
it
go one
works.
time and I remember that. And I
Did you die?
appreciated it and it was a little bit uncomfortable for me because usually I'm like wallflower, like I'm just gonna be back here. And I was friends with one of the trainers actually. So they took me as like a challenge and I was a strong looking guy. So they pushed me, so I threw up.
Yes.
And they were like, "All right, how you doing? Sorry we made you throw up." And I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just not used
Yeah.
to. It was like I had the whole class looking at me, and then to be throwing up, and then to have the whole class be like, "It was
Yeah.
nice to
It's
meet you
experience.
today." Yeah. I'm like, was it? Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense that you're there. And like you saying, you'd say before, like the men just want to hug me and, just give such big hugs. I'm like, what gym are you going to? Because there's a lot of like the commercial gyms, like Gold's Gym, where it's just
Mm.
headphones on in your own lane. There's not a whole lot of conversation and socialization, but yeah, that makes sense.
Oh no, these are this is I highly respect them. They're good coaches, good people. I know their birthdays. I buy them chocolates for Christmas and New Year every time. I buy them European chocolate. And I know who eats dark chocolate, who eats milk chocolate. So very, very family oriented, friendly, very, very homey. So we went through many breakups together, many cries together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
I
long have you
love
been
it.
going there?
Oh, for years.
That's so cool. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
I don't change it. I actually I moved to LA based on their location. I
No.
first found the gym and then I found the apartment.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Because you can walk and bike there.
No.
No, okay. I thought you said you walked
Me?
home from the gym at some time.
Oh no, that's a previous place, but now I moved. No, it's just like
Oh,
10-15 minute drive, but
okay.
it's LA is huge. Hence you
Yeah.
have to come and visit sometimes in your life just to see how big it is. But oh well, oh well. We digress. This was lovely. Um,
We
thank you.
digress.
I love our time. This is really cool. And
Yeah,
thank you
thank you
for
so much.
putting up with my vastness or just
Putting
whatever.
up with it. I delight in that.
Mm,
It's a joy.
nice. Then it's two of us. Crazy.
Mm. Much love.
Out of our minds. Bye.